Do tiny Gundams make good Tau crisis suits? Let's find out. Welcome back to Lizard of Doom, I am Max. Now, I have been sent something lovely by one of my Patreons. A guy named Guy has sent me these Tau Gundam Artifacts, and I'll show them in a minute. He is called Sockdootums in the Discord, so if you're in there, say thank you to him for this entire video. Thank you, Guy. If you follow the channel, you may be familiar with my Gundam Tau army. I have made some Riptides out of normal Gundams, and I've made some human troops out of some Necromunda stuff. This is an entire human army, so my crisis suits, with hooves on them, need to be changed to something with people feet. At least in my train of thought anyway. So let's have a little look at how these transition into some nice Tau crisis suits. So tickle my little like button, thank you very much, and subscribe if you aren't already. Let's get going. So this is what I received. It is a box of Gundam Artifacts meant for a shop, and it's got 10 in there, 2 of every type in this range. I believe there are different series with different Gundams in them, but this is the one I have received, and they are lovely little boxes with lovely little kits inside. A quick unboxing here, and as you would expect, a bunch of sprues, some instructions, and yeah, good to go. So I built this first one off camera and it is lovely, lots of lovely little detail. There are a few gaps that I'm a big fan of hobbying to how much you enjoy it, and I will not be filling all these gaps because I wouldn't enjoy doing that. Also, what's this? What's this bit on his crotch, Gundam people? This is it compared to a human-sized miniature in my human gue'vesa Gundam Tau army, and it is roughly the right size, but I was a bit concerned about that head. The head didn't seem like it fitted a human head within that helmet, and I wanted these to be piloted by humans. So what I did was put one Palanite Enforcer helmet on and one Tau helmet on, and gave my Patreons the choice. So the vote with my Patreons was unanimous. They all voted for the Tau helmets from the Strike Team kit because, ironically, the Palanite ones looked too Gundam-y. So there we go, the Tau helmets were what I'd use moving forward. With the helmet now decided on, I could set about building the rest. This took about an hour per one, so that's 10 hours to build all of them. After that, I had many sprues. And you can see there that one was green. That's because I actually got one of the green clear ones, which is like a limited edition special in these boxes. All with the Tau helmets on. They look nice. They look not out of place at all. They look perfect for my Gundam Tau gue'vesa human army, and I'm ecstatic to get some paint on these. You can see that the 10th one I actually put a human head on, just to see if I liked it for the HQ of my list in these crisis suits. With them all built, it is time to move on to the painting step. And I'm not a massive fan of army painting. I'd prefer to pour my time into one individual miniature. So when I do army painting like this, it is quite a simple colour scheme. This makes it a lot easier for me to get through it and not absolutely lose my mind doing the same detail over and over and over again on each miniature. Going up through these Army Painter airbrush triads, this yellow is what I've done all of my Tau in so far, and it is lovely, perfect sandy yellow for these kind of things. The Tau are kind of this colour-ish. This is a bit more yellow than your standard beige ochre Tau, but it is the colour of all of mine, and I really do like it. These Army Painter triads are great and take the effort out of choosing what paint you need to use to go up through in your airbrush to achieve the correct highlight. You can see I've done this to all of them. There is some separation now with that Zenithal. You can see the shadows falling across the panels quite nicely and catching the edges. Perfect. Then to bring some further separation for the panels like I've done on my Gundams and my tanks, I'll be using some brown. This is Mournfang brown. It is a nice brown, usually used for rust, but I liked it to separate. It's nice and warm and the panels don't all look uniform and yellow. And it brings back that feeling of the Tau with their kind of ochre and brown suits. Then I used a little bit of Deathclaw brown just to edge highlight the edges. I wasn't going up too far with these. As I say, I'm not a big fan of army painting, so if I can keep it simple and make it look good with less, I will. After the armour panels were done, I sponged some weathering on the corners and edges of it all with some Rhinox hide, like I've done on all of the other stuff in this army, and I repainted all of the bits that were kind of technical, like the joints and the gun barrels, in black. There are no metallics in this army. I wanted it to look a bit more futuristic and not as, you know, things are made of metal now. I'm sure they'll be made of some kind of better alloy 40,000 years in the future in the Tau Empire. So this is that reason why there's no metallics on this entire army. To make these black areas a little bit more defined, I used the same technique, just edge highlighting like I'd done with the Deathclaw Brown on Mournfang Brown, but this time I used Skavenblight Dinge as the edge highlight for the black. This is a light grey. It's not like a white grey, it's a slightly yellowy off-white grey, which is a lot nicer than just adding white to it because it will just wash it out a bit. The yellow keeps it warm and in tone with the rest of the miniature. I used a little bit of white to just dot all the lenses and lights on the miniatures so I could go over them with some contrast paint and make them pop out nice and brightly. Nice quick effect, easy peasy. This is the Vallejo model colour white, and for the black bits I did use Vallejo model colour black. Both of them are very good and I would recommend both of them if you are looking for decent black and white paints. After that, a little bit of athematic blue just to flood the area and make these things pop out with a nice cool contrasting colour in amongst all that yellow and brown warmth. I painted up the skin on the HQ, still not sure how I feel about this. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this human head as opposed to the helmets. I think the helmets look good. Iffy on the human head, let me know what you think. I actually genuinely would be really interested in what you think. Do you think it looks like humans are able to fit inside these little Gundams? Now onto a little bit more weathering with the Streaking Grime, working back and forth between Streaking Grime and White Spirit, removing it where it needed to be removed and letting it pool in the deep recesses. I wanted these guys to look like they've been through hell. Now the beauty of having 10 of them sent out to me means I can have 3 units of 3 and 1 commander in Tau Crisis suit. So the ones that are the units, I've tried to pair like a sergeant with a different weapon with 2 guys that have the same weapon. So these will be, represented as WYSIWYG as I can, using flamers for the more stubby weapons, using bigger rail type guns the Crisis suits have for the bigger guns, and I'm trying to make it as easy to play against as possible in the rules for someone who, I'm counting as this. I only play this with my friends, so they will understand if I go, these guys, these are flamers, okay? Those 2 are flamers, these 2, they've got mini railguns or whatever they're called on Crisis suits. I like to keep it kind of consistent so it's easier for people to play against me when I'm doing my counts as. That's why there will be 1 more Riptide in this army, and it will be the same as the first Gundam because they will have the same loadout, so I want them to, look the same. I think these work really well, they look really nice, so thank you Guy, thank you Sockdutums in the chat. Everyone say thanks to him. All that needed to be done now was to base them, and I based them in the same swampy style I based all of the other stuff in this army. There is a playlist on the channel called Human Tau, which I'll probably link down below if you want to check that out. We will get onto the reveal shots now, but first let me do the YouTube.
Sorry.
Was that a sneeze?
I tried to stop my sneeze.
That was like a grenade going off. Christ. We'll get into the reveal shots now, but before we do, let me do the YouTube things. Pop a subscribe if you're new here. Only 1 in 3 people who watch my videos are subscribed, so that is, a big percentage for my channel. 60% of people here now are not subscribed. I'm only small. It would be a lot of help if you did. If you'd like to support me further, there is a Patreon, the link is up here, shablam, and everyone up there is wonderful, and thank you for helping support this. Your names will be over the reveals in a moment. Leave a like for the like god and a comment for the algorithm throne. Have some lizard lore with your reveal shots, a lovely long episode of lizard lore to get your teeth sunk into. I will see you next time, kids. It is not a pile of shame, it's a pile of future fun. Peace. My name is Commander Shrap. I used to be commander of the guard at the High Palace of Amika before the little blue men came. As the warp storm cleared, they heard our call for aid and answered. There's no need for guard at the palace anymore, so I've been reassigned to command the Amican 1st Loyalist Crisis Suit Division. They take a little getting used to, but they've been redesigned to fit our frames a little better, It's hard to squeeze a foot in a hole designed for a hoof. We've also been allowed to deviate from the designs and rig our suits for purpose. Our strike teams are small and highly specialised, each fulfilling a purpose and providing heavy support that the ground troops lack. With the help of these suits, we've taken every planet in the Keltion 9 system for the greater good. Some came willingly, some needed convincing, but now we're on our way to our neighbouring systems. Bynarr will pose a challenge, with Hive Fleet Cariophililes infesting one of its large planets, and those god-awful scrappers in their ungodly machines on the other one. But as the storm clears further and further, we'll be able to reclaim more and more, for the Amican First Loyalists and for the greater good. A recent transmission of Imperial origin has got the Blue Guys a little concerned. Seems they weren't the only ones to pick up our distress call, just the first. There's murmurs of some kind of force being dispatched from the Imperium, but what it is we're yet to see. For now the Tau have blockaded Keltion 9 to use as a stronghold. Whatever it is, we'll be forced to redirect to Bynarr. Good luck out there, I say, better them than us. For now, Keltion 9, with Amika as its capital, has become a safe haven, a paradise for us. The greater good has shown us that we don't need to live in fear, in poverty, in famine. We give ourselves willingly to serve the Tau. They have saved us from sure defeat at the hands of our enemies and the warp itself. We owe everything to them. The Amican First Loyalists fight bravely in honour of our new rulers. We are Amika's finest, and we will not be deterred. The battlefield is ours. We have superior firepower, superior suits, superior technology. We are the strongest here. So what I say is, come on Imperium, you abandoned us. You left us to rot. So if you come back with aggression, Imperium, we'll meet you with aggression. So blinded by being stuck in your ways, so obsessed with your God Emperor that we no longer believe in. You think that you're the strongest out there, but it doesn't have to be like this. Everyone can be friends, but we know that's not the path that you will choose. Our hand will be offered, but you're so lost in your own beliefs that you don't even know who you are as a species anymore. We know who we are. We are the Amican First Loyalists. We are the Tau Empire. You cannot break us, and you cannot break our spirit. Your move, Imperium. What will it be? Commander Shrap, signing off.